Yo boys, this is my video for idols. These are the timestamps and they'll also be in the description. So for picking the level, we once again did a community randomization thing with the straw polls and then randomized the top 3. So I'll just show you the clip from the stream. This is the final poll. We're not gonna roll between Conical, Faith and idols. I mostly want to get Faith. Idols is gonna be whatever, and Conical I really don't want to get. So let's roll. Oh dude, okay. We didn't get completely fucked, but we still have to do a really fucking long level. Oh my god. It's just such a long level now.
Wait, did I not call it? Did I not say I have a feeling it's gonna be idols?
Moving on to the gameplay review. I'll just go through some of my annoyances. Due to the level being like 5 minutes long, I'm not gonna go through every single part. I'll just mention some of the major issues. So, first up is the wave part at 8%. It has some very bad structuring. It's just not well made in terms of flowy gameplay at all. It just feels inconsistent overall. Then we have the triple spike part here at 40%, which is just super weird to read. I don't know, I feel like in this part it would have been made a lot more sense if they gave the player a lot more time to think about each one. Maybe just visually be able to see the spikes a bit beforehand. It just ends up being very random, and you just end up dying a lot to them for virtually no reason, and it feels pretty unfair. The next thing that really annoyed me was the very start of this duel. There's both a completely blind click where you gotta hold in the middle of the black transition, and then you also have some clicks generally in the duel that just never really seem to be wanting to work consistently 100% of the time. So that was a bit frustrating. I mean, obviously if I were to spend some more attempts on this, maybe I would eventually find the strat for it, but being as deep as I was into it, I still feel like it really didn't make sense how inconsistent that still was. And then probably my biggest issue is the difficulty spike you have at the swing copter at 73. It's the most mechanically intensive part by far. It could be argued one wave part is close to it, but I think the actual mechanical thing and just the fact of reading this as well is super hard, especially for a player doing this as their new hardest. So I would definitely like seeing that be easier. So overall, obviously those aren't a lot of issues, but that's just because I'm bringing up the most important ones. I feel like the entire level in general is just blind. There's a very large amount of blind orbs in this level, blind clicks after transitions, or like split millisecond reactions you gotta have, unless you just like got it fully muscle memorized. The level's very buggy. I would often end up dying to just going down on a platform that should be solid, and it just ends up killing you. Like, it just makes no sense. So due to that, the level ends up becoming inconsistent, blind and buggy, which, I mean, it's just not what you want to see for a 4-minute level. 4-minute levels, or just any Excel in general, it's very important that you really make sure that your level is super consistent and always working. Now for the difficulty assessment, I've chosen to place it here. I think it's harder than Wavebreaker, mostly because of how learny and unapproachable it is, but I don't think the actual mechanical gameplay is harder than Wavebreaker in itself. Now, I do think it's easier than Infernal Abyss, because Infernal Abyss requires much more mechanical ability. So where Wavebreaker requires a bit more, Infernal Abyss requires a lot more in my opinion. So from my experience, of the 6 days that I played it, one of the days was just purely spent learning it. I just sat through it all, just sat back, watched some podcasts from YouTube, and I just painstakingly went through learning the entire thing. It is just shy of 4 minutes, so it is quite an experience. So then once I actually started going from 0, I made quite quick progress to like 60%, and then I ended up dying a lot at 60, then a lot at 61, and then a lot at 62. And finally I was able to pass that duel section and get to the main difficulty part, which is the swing copter at 75. I died to that once, and then I continued to die some at the duel again. But then eventually, once I got to the swing copter again, I ended up fluking the rest, which, I mean, you definitely should on this level. That's what you're going to be aiming for. You want to really get the ending down and consistent, because it is easier than the rest of the level, and you don't really want to keep grinding after passing the swing copter. So with all that out of the way, let's just watch the completion.
Name those names. You won't.
Yeah, I actually won't. You definitely know who I'm talking about, I feel like. Don't say like anything you hint at could be done.
I give one hint.
I'm kinda getting far. Let's not fuck this up this time. Okay, we got past we got that in pause, but let's not fucking die here. We got a hard shift coming up, and what else do we got? Not too much to be honest, but I'm nervous, so I might die.
You're nerd.
Yes! Oh my god. Yes! Thank fuck.
I thought you were dead. Yes, good job.
Yes. Oh, dude, I was so nervous that entire time, and the pause just didn't help. Like any of the pauses just made me more nervous.